मारायला पाहिजे. गरीब म्हणून जन्म आली ही माझी चुकी नाहीये, पण गरीब म्हणून मी मरणार नाही हे देवाला मान्य होतं. आणि मैत्रिणीकडून कळलं मला की हे बघ DDU म्हणून एक असं हे निघालंय की जिथं ते 3 महिने फक्त प्रशिक्षण देतात, फक्त 3 महिने प्रशिक्षण देतात आणि 3 महिन्याच्या नंतर लगेच ते जॉब लावून देतात. देवाला खरंच खूप उपकार सगळ्यांचे माझ्यावर की हे DDUचं मी ऐकलं आणि घरी सांगितलं.
सॉरी टू रिव्ह्यू. अश्विनी खरंच खूप चांगलं बरोबर व्यक्त करत आहे की सक्सेस स्टोरीज आहेत, पण आपल्याला कार्यक्रम we would like to take out a program ahead, so I would like to I'll call our last skill icon, Monica Thakur from CAP. Monica Thakur from CAP.
All right. Now we are live. Yes, live.
माझे नाव मोनिका ठाकूर आहे, जिल्हा वर्धा. आणि मी DDU-GKY मला कशामार्फत मला माहिती पडली की गावातील बचत गट राहतात, त्याच्यातून एका काकूने मला सांगितलं की अशी जी स्कीम निघालेली आहे आणि तुम्ही कराल का. तर आम्ही वगैरे तिथे गेलो आणि बघितलं वगैरे, फॉर्म वगैरे घेतले आणि त्याच्यानंतर तिथे जाऊन सिलेक्ट वगैरे झालो. मग नागपूरला आलो आणि तिथे आम्हाला चूज करायचं होतं की ऑटोमोबाईल, रिटेल और हॉटेल मॅनेजमेंट. आम्ही हॉटेल मॅनेजमेंट सिलेक्ट केलं आणि त्यातलं काहीच आम्हाला माहिती नव्हतं की हॉटेल मॅनेजमेंट म्हणजे. पण त्याच्यानंतर तेव्हा समजलं की आम्हाला ट्रेनिंग देणारे प्रफुल्ल कुईकर सर इतके छान होते की ते इतके समजून आम्हाला सांगायचे आणि सगळं समजायला आलं. तर मला माझी फर्स्ट जॉब इंडियन इथे झाली. तिथे मी स्टीवर्ड होते. त्याच्यानंतर मी 1 वर्ष तिथे केलं. त्याच्यानंतर काही प्रॉब्लेम झाले म्हणून तिथं सोडून दिलं आणि मग मी हरदेव हॉटेल नागपूरलाच आहे, तिथे कॅप्टन म्हणून 12,000 सॅलरी मध्ये आहे. म्हणून मी खूप धन्यवाद मानते आणि
The first session is on the interlinkage between the private and public sector under DDU-GKY sector with grant margin government sector professional. He has an extensive experience in managing large-scale vocational training programs. For the past 5 years, he has been successful in creating among the private and public sector by building and cultivating networks such as onboarding of 50 large corporates, facilitate training and placement under the Skill India mission. Mr. Chetan Bakkar holds Masters in Public from St. Xavier's College, Mumbai, and Masters in Management Studies, Implementation and Monitoring of the schemes, programs of Government India. I would request Mr. Chetan to come forward.
We would like to thank MSILM to provide us an opportunity to work with them as a technical India missions where we work with SDC and MORD on their scheme. also working urban development department in terms of smart cities. In industries, we are working with Government of India's Weekly India scheme where we are advising clusters and all. And in agri sector, we closely aligned with in terms of public farmer income by creating FPOs and all. So in a nutshell, this advisory team of us is working right from the a rural area to an urban, where we are interacting with various stakeholders. And the primary part of all successful program has been engaged with the industry, where the public sector is heavily investing and the private sector is also facilitating the development. But there has to be a common synergy between the programs and agendas. And that's where this program of DDU-GKY, where ma'am has also briefed in terms of how this could be helpful. And like we've seen IRCTC itself, it's a government agency and they have a requirement of a manpower. And here at one end, you have a government program which is skilling and training. Mahrashtra itself is going to train 58, 18% is for hospitality and sector. So if we together can converge upon certain common goals, because that is where we would be able to, have a sustainable development. What ma'am was suggesting, what would be the next step once you're placed and all. And that's where we thought, industry participation has to be necessarily there in order to enhance this. And our experience while working with the industry have been that, if right from the inception stage you involve an industry, so the output and the results would be sustainable and long-term in results. So we've seen in last 8 months here at this program also, and we where retail sector had participated and all, and now they're going and visiting our centers and trying to see how we can own a badge or owners and own students from them and all. So with due permission from ma'am, I mean, I would even suggest an idea in terms of not only own a badge, they have to suit.
Thanks, Chetan. I'm Tarun Vaishnav, just brief introduction. I've been in the skill development space for over 7 years now. Worked across central and state governments in terms of industry partnerships. We work extensively with the NSBC in creating the likes of Facebook, etc., who recently joined the Skill India mission. In terms of our role with the Maharashtra State Livelihood Mission and capacity of the technical support agency, we see the skill icons today that in order to spread that success, the reason why we have industry participation. But what is also required is co-creating synergies in order to lead to that impact. The industry participation itself will bring in that entire role of institutionalizing capacities across the ecosystem of skill development. While training people in this space is essential, and there is a vital focus in certain things. We had retail last month, hospitality this month. Hospitality again is one of the growing sectors. 12.5 million odd incremental HR requirements by 2022 in the country. In a state like Maharashtra, where we also see that and witnessed second highest in terms of foreign tourist inflow in the country after Delhi, is some sort of bringing the system of skill development. So this is not just about impact. Impact is nothing but a likely influence in their day-to-day life and their livelihoods. We see a lot of change, but we see these skill icons that may make a lot of more impact when they're on the stage more than us, and of course a lot of people who are here. But again, so this is something which we all need to focus on. Round about the fund is looking at different aspects of skill development, because we're more an audit tax and advisory firm, so we don't follow that purview of hiring skill development candidates. But we're also looking at content creation, sign off with industries. We're looking at having SSCs, co-brand logos of corporates who are also under the Skill India mission. So these are certain other initiatives that we're looking with the government of India. Hopefully, we have a couple of things which we can progress on. And it's participation from the industry which will make a difference tomorrow. While we can have the training 70%, as ma'am pointed out, was the placement criteria under the program. And given that DDU-GKY does not focus very intrinsically on self-employment, but we also look at employment, which is a must. Wage employment is also something which, there is an income increase, not just to the person, but he also eventually becomes a breadwinner of the family. So there is a change that we need. We've onboarded a lot of corporates. We have government-sponsored institutions that have come on board. We've got the Image of the Tool, we've got separate other institutions which have also, have tied hands with MSRLM. So these are certain changes that we need to bring to society. In terms of bringing in value-added partners, not just for hiring recruitment of people, but also for training people, for content creation, for tying up with the sectoral councils in terms of the requirement of the curriculum and content, which is acceptable by the industry. So these are certain aspects that we need to work towards. We've got a lot of project implementing agencies here. And of course, Maharashtra is one of the leading states in terms of credible project implementing agencies which are onboarded. So this has truly happened with a lot of efforts by the MSRLM and a lot of support by the corporates, by the PIAs, and everyone supporting the ecosystem. So thank you.
Thank you, Tarun and Chetan, for the crisp presentation on DDU-GKY and the role the public and private sector can together play in advancing this mission. We now move on to the next session. The next section focuses on formation of linkages between training partners, hospitality industry, and associations with a view to explore ways which are mutually beneficial to all parties, stakeholders concerned. And the speakers for this event are Mr. Amit Naik, a seasoned human resource professional with around 29 years of work experience as an HR in service, telecom, retail, and manufacturing industry. He is now working with PSIPL, a Kalpataru Group company, Vice President Human Resource. Amit has played a major role in establishing and building teams in most of the organizations he has worked in and is known to be startup specialist. He is also a certified competency-based recruiter, a certified internal auditor under ISO 9000 QS, and a certified assessor for assessment centers. Amit has received the HR Leadership Award from the World HRD Congress in Singapore. He is a recipient of the prestigious HR Warrior Award for excellence in HR practices and very recently was awarded the top 100 HR minds in 2018. Mr. Sanjeev Singh Teti is currently working as Head Alternate Hiring Channel with CXO, India. His role primarily deals into hiring blue-collar workforce via train and hire MBA model through skill development partners, hotel management campuses. He has played a pivotal role in launching Lean and NAPS for the organization. Prior to this, he was working as Associate Segment Head, Talent Acquisition for Reliance General Insurance, and as a Zonal HR Head, Human Resource for Reliance Nippon Life Insurance in Reliance AGA Group of companies. With an overall experience of 18 years, his skill sets are talent acquisition, employee relations, employee connect. Our next panelist is Mr. Arnab Das, presently associated as General Manager Placements with Orion Edutech Private Limited, partner company of National Skill Development Corporation. He is presently looking after the training and placements of the DDU-GKY program trainees, along with the curriculum and content development, training the trainers, monitoring and the initiative, NALCO, and NTPC. Next panelist is Mr. Subhrajit Chatterjee, presently associated as Assistant General Manager with Orion Edutech Private Limited, looking after training and placement of DDU-GKY program. Also with work for major international BPOs like HSBC, Limtex, Duke for 15 years, and working as an operational head involving training, operations, and delivery. I would request all our panelists to come on the dais. How we can adopt to bridge the gap between the diverse players sharing the same goal.
Yeah, so good afternoon, everybody. To answer your question, the first time I heard about what the government of India is doing was a year back. and I try to tie up with a lot of NSDC partners. But I think the process is so cumbersome that we decided to give it up. And that is when this year we decided to relook at what we did last year. And that's how I got in touch with Grant Thornton and Ms. R. Ellen and I met Mr. George. So I think from the industry viewpoint, what matters is awareness. A lot of corporates are not even aware what's happening, what the government is offering, and awareness will increase. I'm sure a lot of corporates would be happy to deal with.
Mr. Sanjeev, we agree what Mr. Amit is saying here. Would like to throw some more light.
Hi, good afternoon all. This year, from CXO perspective, I speak from the operation perspective. We as a team primarily we hire around 25,000 people every year. The headcount of the organization is around 44,000 plus. The churn rate is high, and the demands are high. And when the demands are high, it gives us more skilled manpower to join us. So we hire all three types of people, skilled, semi-skilled, and non-skilled employees also. Platforms like skill development partners, they give us the opportunity to hire semi-skilled employees who actually have good knowledge, and then we as an organization help them to come up the learning curve. We give them a one-month induction program, and for the first 30 days, we train them as to how work is performed. So, from a skill development perspective, I and my team, we have hired more than around 5,000 people this year. We work very closely with around 40 odd partners, which are partners like directly as DDU-GKY and also from PHS. For us, the success rate is good. We have got good talent on board, and I wish DDU-GKY success. Yes, we will be very closely working with Mahrashtra also. Earlier, the success rate in Mahrashtra was not that good, but if we look at statistics, we look at numbers. Earlier, as the collateral which you shared, so earlier the placement numbers were around 11,000. When it moved to it's a 100% shift to 22,000, and now as the new targets which you have got of around 56,000, and 18% if we look at coming into the hospitality and tourism, which is around 10,000 plus. And if I look at a very optimistic way, 5,000 will come to tourism hospitality. So, and that's a decent number for the next 7 to 8 months as an apply in Maharashtra. And industry will benefit to it. Yes, as earlier also correctly said by Man, is that the mindset of the candidates have to be worked upon. So, in order to, if people need to succeed, they need to have the bags ready. And organizations today in facility management and food services, they are giving out opportunities with salary plus food and accommodation. So, I think we have a huge opportunity in the next 6 to 7 months to work together and look at things.
How do you feel this gap between this gap between the demand and supply can be filled in?
If I look at, if you ask me as a perspective, I've been working with skill development partners. I would say more between the corporates and I would not use the word corporate, it's the demand. There has to be a lot of interaction and the buying has to be created. So industry partners or skill development partners have to talk to organizations who need people, understand the job roles and the job responsibilities and train them accordingly, rather than training first and then asking for placements. So the time is it has to be a reverse calculation. First understand the demands and the job role, then accordingly go to the government, take a project and get the project. So this is what I look at it. More than just skilling and saying, please them. It's better we first understand I invite skill development partners to come and visit our sites, meet our operation heads, understand what is the job role, what are the challenges people face, what is the gap between the JD and the actual work done on the field. Understand that, train them, and then deploy. Because that's the bridge which has to be built.
Mr. Das, you have been working as a DDU-GKY partner, so would you like to share your experience?
First of all, it is a wonderful experience to have all the hospitality fraternity people over here. Respected Nimla ma'am and respected Nalini ma'am have shared their views, which I completely second. My past Maharashtra experience have been fabulous because whenever I went into the hotels to Radisson, to La Meridian, all owners, proprietors, because they have faced a problem of a lot of untrained people whom they had to skill themselves and had to waste a lot of 6 months. And after that, if these people are not retained in the hotels, then the HRs face a very strong challenge. We started supplying in the demand supply system. We, because I used to look after the training and a lot of students, enthusiastic icons are sitting at the back who came and took the registration from the medals. The thing like this, there in the training part, we always emphasize and tell the students for a mindset like that, from a rural background, you are coming in search for a career, but ultimately you are looking for a sustainable livelihood which will only come to you through cash. But this cash, we are going to spend it in a different way in these 4 months of DDU-GKY training. This cash will spend it as knowledge, attitude, skill, and habit. You give us these 4 things and we will give you back the 4 things. So it was really enterprising to see all of them over here. A few things which I have noticed in this DDU-GKY program is that a lot of misconceptions are there in the mindset of the parents of the candidates. How can I send them to the hotels to work? Hotels may not be a very wonderful environment for our girls to go and work. So I would request the HRs and the hospitality industry family over here that on a monthly basis, if we can have parents, the candidates, HRs, and also the industry, the training partners, if there can be a meet, then there can be a very crystal clarification of the misconceptions and the doubts can be clarified. So this is one thing which I have found out. And regarding one more page is that often when our candidates join in hotels, that they have a mindset of working for 9 to 10 hours. But the reality is a little different because when we joined hotels also, we found out that it is a little longer working hours. So in these cases, we need to think in the training partners and the hotels also need to come to a commitment that we have to take a little bit of extra care for our students also, because they are freshers and a little bit of extra care is needed. So these things I think can be developed with time.
So, as you rightly pointed out, there are some common misconceptions. Can you name some of them, and how can these misconceptions can be overcome by the students?
See, the misconceptions, I say one thing is like, they have a conception like hotels is a very glamorous place to go and work. But I think I can actually see Sonali ma'am sitting over here and being from the same pattern. She also understands the field that we had experience in the earlier years when we joined hotels. So initially, we have to clear out the doubts along with the students that it is going to be long hours because guests can turn up to your hotel at 12 o'clock in the night and you have to stand up right on your feet with a smile and what we say a golden smile for the hospitality industry. So these things they need to get practiced in the classes during their programs. Long hours of standing habits. So these things are there. Parents often have come out asking very challenging questions like hotels are not a good place to work for the girls. I won't allow my girl who comes from a very small village of Maharashtra to go and do a night shift in a hotel. So this reality can be only cleared if we can ask a parent, HR, and a training partner meet on a monthly basis, where the parents can also come to the hotels and get a flavor of the feel, rather, I would say, to how their words are working in the hotels. Then only these concepts can be a little clear.
Mr. Chatterjee, would you like to add something?
Yes, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Mr. Arun, for this meet. Now, everything as Mr. Das said, only thing that is totally unsettling this part is the expectation management of the student. Now, this expectation management has to be done not only the training partners, not only the industry, but parents as well as the panchayat community one where they're coming. So if we do a proper expectation management in every stage, being it the counseling part, or the training part, or the placement part, and even in the industries, if we all have our expectation management on the same page, on the same level, then I think the retention part and the students staying there and working for longer time and making icons all consider and focus on jobs. But if we take care of the livelihood part and make job as a part of it and make the expectation management livelihood that we are giving you, job is a part of it. So you have to speak to them and getting your livelihood done, then only you are a successful person. And this has to be done in all verticals together.
So in terms of course curriculum, what do you think, which are the areas we should touch upon? Or what are the skill sets the candidates from the industry point of view, which he should have?
Skill sets.
Yes.
So for us, company called PSI, we are more into facilities management, and for us it's housekeeping, and we also take care of a lot of hospitals or house, and for regulatory assistant taking care of patient claims and booking. There's more of a manual housekeeping skill that we are basically trying to address.
Okay. Mr. Sanjeev, would you like to add something?
See, from a skill set perspective and from a competency-based framework, if you look at it, what we try to do is, I would not like to name the city on the site where we did this. We try to experiment actually very successful. So we try to do a test which is called as the immersion test. You put somebody into water and see how it works. So we call the students into a site and tell them to work for 7 days. As a part of the training. The student exactly understands what he or she is supposed to do. What is the work? And then if he or she is inclined to work with the organization, they automatically mold themselves. And we also give this feedback to the training partner that where each and every student, what are the areas of improvement or what he or she is good at and how he has to inculcate himself into the organization. So that helps us actually. Because if you want to hire people and also need to have quality candidates, this is one way out that we thought, which helps us. So if we only try to build something in a textbook, qualification pack, and agree here that things are managers are different, people are different, environment is different. Every segment is different. We have healthcare, we have schools, education segments. So the job description remains the same, but the work around the candidate, the atmosphere changes, the working style changes. It can be a manufacturing firm wherein a candidate needs to know, he or she has to read, where the wet is, where the floor is wet, or where he or she doesn't have to go. Maybe a capsule industry. Look at schools. He may be a housekeeper or he may be a steamer. He or she has to know that he or she is not supposed to talk or touch a student. So the atmosphere changes. show the competency and framework that we cannot put it in the classroom. So we call them for immersion test. Work at a site for 7 days, understand, you obey. So this is how we do it.
Okay. Any questions from the audience?
I'd just like to say, like, as a part of the training, basically there is a 1 month on-job training also which happens. So when the student will come, for example, any company which is going to think, so at that point of time, anyway, so what you're talking about immersion for 7 days, it's a 1 month immersion. So already the student gets acclimatized and understands that. So that is a part of the training. So if that will be, anyway useful for you. And at that point of time, I feel that all these issues which are being raised now can be looked at. That is the best opportunity to really take that forward. Because one opportunity here is, of course, first thing is that when the batch is taken up, owning a batch, 1 was point 1. Second, as our DSA suggested that you can even own the center. The centers are already, they are SOP aligned and state of art centers are there for the state. So one you can decide to look at the state center and then you align with that. And third is the part of the training itself. The OJT is there. So that could probably be one thought you can take back with you. That the PIAs who have come here, you can visit their center and then the immersion anyway will happen.
I agree with you. So this was the earlier cases, and yes, if you look at all the batches model, that can be then put it in the classroom. Thank you. I just have 1 point back.
One point which I wanted to add is that whenever there is a job fair, it's a support from the industry that we require. There are open job fairs happening. Now what happens, some are not qualified for jobs. Now why don't we do one thing, that if they're interested for the job but they didn't qualify at that point of time, we can inspire them to have the training part from the training partners and then join the job after the training is done. So that will help the training partners as well. Even eventually after 3 months, it will help the industries as well.
Okay. So that's what the man has been talking, to the industry, that you have a whole batch concept.
Actually, I have been very closely working with Sanjay for quite some time, students. Now, a very interesting fact is that what he wanted to mean about the immersion thing. In an earlier project of the CSR, we used to call this as week 0. The problem which arises from the week 0 is it actually became a little sort of a shock therapy for the student. And one of the very eminent person from Assam, who was a brigadier right now, he told me, had I ever come to know that what hardships will I have to face after joining the MBA program, I would have never been a soldier. My love for my country and my uniform developed during my training days once I was invited in the program. So at that point of time, we had to reflect on an idea. Please, we will give it a pause for week 0. Let them come. Let them fall in love with hotels. Let them fall in love with the work. Let them feel like one day Sachin is going to come to my restaurant and I'm going to serve Sachin. So these fantasies, these concepts, we are selling a concept to the students for a better sustainable livelihood. So I think that is a little better way to deal with the things. Initially, the first day, they're going to work for 12, 14 hours, they may not understand the job at all. That's it.
Yeah, I have a question for Vimla ma'am. We are trying to look at almost 10,000 people a year in facilities and struggling badly, in cities like Mumbai, Pune. And we have been dealing with the NSDC partners and now with DDU-GKY. The biggest problem is mobilizing resources. So if you're talking about people migrating to Mumbai, etc., where we are willing to provide food accommodation, we are still finding it difficult where people are not willing to. So how would the government or the India mission address this issue of basic housekeeping as a trade or as a skill, because I mean this forum is about hospitality and housekeeping is part of it. But we are not looking at, because we generally don't look at room attendants getting into a housekeeping role. The housekeeping in detailed subject, we find it very difficult to get these people.
See, one thing which we can possibly do is define the role, have small videos made and circulate all our gram panchayats and SHG groups meet weekly. So they are aware of the type of job roles which are imagined. Because sometimes what happens is that people come and join the course and they have a particular mindset, and then you're just probably a steward or something, and then you're going to make hiking. You find that you have to do not a very comfortable position job to be in, probably clean up the place or take part of the cleaning of the toilets and bathrooms and such things. It's not there in the mind. So from the beginning, the students are made aware that as a part of hospitality management, this is the package which you can get, and you can be placed in any of these job roles. So when you make them aware of the roles, like right now we are like not having any of these kinds of videos with us. So I request the industry also probably to prepare the kind of job roles, what is the work done from your own people, and we will circulate it in our groups that these are the kind of job roles which are there in the hospitality, and they can come prepared for this. Because certainly at times people there are misconceptions in the mind of people of the type of role they can come. So we can generating awareness, as was rightly said, is the biggest problem for even me. Today I'm like a state of Maharashtra with a rural population of 6 crores, and I still could not manage to find students of 8,000. That is because the field level interaction of the PIA also was not to that level. So when you go, like I very proudly talk about one PIA is Dhami, which is there. And the second one, recently, we have a new PIA which is from Vedant Technologies and very church. And he has been allocated districts which are extremely, Vidarbha rural, Chandrapur, Parda, Bhandara, and Akola, and Karchur. But they made an effort to go and be in the villages. Their director was very much there. And they interacted, and I was the first time surprised when I went for the induction course. All my field level officers were there. This was the first time I went to any PIA when all the district mission managers are there. The project director, DRDA is there. So the PIA also has to make an effort to interact with the field level officers, because they have 10 priorities. They are not really concerned whether the PIA is giving the students or not. So PIA was presently here. I'm sure you can have some interaction with him at some point of time. That effort has to come. And these small snippets and if we can circulate these small videos in hospitality, different sectors which are there, like Sodexo is saying what is the kind of things they want, what is the kind. So we generate awareness. That is my responsibility. That we will definitely generate awareness so that when people come, they are mentally prepared for the kind of jobs they are, and they also are more open-minded to understand that the job goes there. They don't run away, because even I was shocked a couple of places when I went at a computer person suddenly lands up for bed and bedside assistant. He is not for last. He is just coming for a holiday. See, government money is with due respect. It's very easy to point out when the government does nothing. But when a private partner becomes a part of the government, you have to take care of the money which is being invested by the government. So PIA also has to make that much effort to get the correct candidate. Just because we are paying for it to our noses, you cannot just jolly well go and say, "Mujhe mera number complete karna hai," and take any candidate and finish. But that attitude also needs to be, developed by the PIA. And it's a mutual thing with the industry, the PIA, and we are learning the things and working towards it. And now we are educating the PIAs also that what is important, how you should mobilize, what is the correct crux when you go and meet the student. And we definitely work on this to ensure just that what are the various sectors, what is the kind of job role required for for these things.
Thank you, madam, for sharing. Yes. Thank you, dear panelists, for just one question.
Am I audible to you?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, Mr. Sanjit made a very pertinent point in the previous discussion that you were having. As a part of standard operating procedure for training partners or PIAs, as we call it, can you have that kind of thing built in where before training starts, pre-training, the partner has had discussions with the industry partner already, and then after that the training begins. Can we have it as one of the standard procedures? And that adds to the second point. Would industry be eager to have that kind of interaction?
Just to answer your query, we have internally started a new model for recruitment, which is called as hire, train, and deploy model. So what we do is, for some PIs, selective, willing who are ready to do these projects with us. What we do is, we as a team are a part of a selection team during mobilization. So we select the candidate before he enters the training. I'm not saying for all roles, for some selected cases, for some roles, where it's, so these are special projects which we do with some PIs. So we interview the candidate before he enters the training program, and we give a conditional offer letter to them saying that subject to successful completion of the program, you will be absorbed in the organization at a pertinent level. Training program and the choices. So we do this. If you want, we can take the discussion offline, and we can share more details on this one.
Thank you. Thank you, dear panelists. Thank you, Mr. Nayak. Thank you, Mr. Peti. Thank you, Mr. Das, and working insights and inputs. Thank you so much. We shall now move on to the closing.
Now we will just conclude. The takeaway from this session is, Sodexo has made one point, welcoming the partners to come and visit their sites. This is something which partners take away. And similarly, other organizations also, basing on this idea, you should also invite our people to see your sites. That will be good insight to design the training programs accordingly. We'll move to the next session. We are running short of time. Kindly bear with us. We'll cut short these questions. Last, we'll have a discussion. Please keep your questions with you. We'll have a question and answer session. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our next session is on multiplier effect of the hospitality industry facilitating the economy. We are taking session 2 first, and after that we'll take session 3. Mr. Clifford D'Souza is a versatile and qualified human resource executive with 19 years of rich experience in diversified industries. He is a strategic professional who deploys participative management style in fast-paced diverse workforce and is an excellent team builder and consultant on personal issues and organizational development. His areas of expertise include human resource strategies, objectives, employee and management training, MIS reporting, talent acquisition and staffing, needs and operational management, amongst a host of others. Our next panelist is Ms. Shruti Kokani. Ms. Shruti has joined the prestigious family business of Corrigan Group, founded by Mr. Madhav Kokani 15 years ago. Corrigan Group started with technical education and has reached to around 30 institutions of chain of hotels across Mahrashtra. For the last 15 years, they are running 3-year degree program where 400 students pass every year from 2 campuses, one in Mumbai and one in Ratnagiri. Our next panelist is Dr. Nalini Gangadharan. He is a development professional with 30 years experience with non-profits and corporate foundations. She is an expert in the field of linking learning and livelihood promotion for the underserved through corporate government citizen partnerships. Dr. Gangadharan has to her credit many innovative and path-breaking initiatives that are still healthy, continuing to serve the intended communities. In 2003, Dr. Gangadharan founded CAP Foundation for rescue and rehabilitation of child workers and youth at risk. A community-based program, the foundation is engaged in education, vocational and occupational pathways for in-school, out-of-school and post-school young adults from difficult circumstances. A recipient of numerous awards and several publications to her credit, she is also actively associated with many established large national and multinational corporates in the CSR programs. So I'd like to welcome Mr. D'Souza, Ms. Kopnul and Dr. Gangadharan on the dais. Mr. Isarga, what are some of the ways you feel the people from the industry or different states with respect to SMEs can bridge the gap?
Hello, Namaskar. The various ways is to promote it. So in maybe at our commerce hotels, we work pan India and we recruit a lot of people from different states. Maybe in terms of on-the-job trainees, maybe apprenticeship. People are coming from the north to south to stay with us in a gap of 3 months training. After completion, he comes back whether we can join, we are looking for a job. Maybe in terms of we also employ people from different sectors. The overall training is made and it doesn't mean that people from the the people with the right attitude and maybe a good focus in their future, they are employed. Recently, we got an industrial training from the north, from the Jammu. And he was complimented with the best employee of the month for services. Normally, people come from IHO or something. We start with those institute where they are training or something. But the right attitude, the right maybe a focus of customer services, and
Shruti, do you feel how it can multiply the effect of hospitality industry to boost the economy?
Very good afternoon to everyone, and I would like to thank you here. And very big congratulations to all the skill icons. I was thoroughly impressed with each and every one of you. We're running this college of hotel management where we do a 3-year degree program affiliated to Mumbai University. And I've seen that most of our students are getting so well placed. On the contrary, we are also into the hotel business. We have a chain of hotels across Maharashtra. But very sad to say that we do not get a single student to, to work with us. Because most of them prefer 5-star hotels. I'm sure a few of our students are working over here as well. So I'm extremely happy that the government of Maharashtra has come up with this program. Since we have many hotels, not exactly but all over Maharashtra, I'm looking forward to some good from all these PIAs. And I think the students who are coming here. So I would like to tell you that my father-in-law, Mr. Madhav, came from a very meager background. He was living in a village, a very tiny village of most of you all wouldn't even know. It's called Adegao in the Konkan region, from where his father, being a lawyer, he shifted to Dapoli. And my father-in-law had never even seen Mumbai when he came to study in DDU-GKY after his 12th standard. So if he could come from such a weaker background where in Mumbai he barely had money for 2 meals a day. So all these people, I feel the skill icons should also look at entrepreneurship as one of their, they should look forward to it, not only to work for others, but I'm sure they can do very well in their own villages because a lot of crowd from the urban city towards the villages for a holiday, and the tourism in that area is increasing a lot. So I think with such kind of training and such kind of studies that they do, they can also start their own small setup in their own village, and I feel a lot of scope for this as well.
Madam, what do you feel? How I can play a vital role in this moment in having a multiplier effect?
Just to understand the question, how to help the hospitality industry or how I am a young person from a village.
Great opportunity, and we heard us, icons talk. Entering these kind of air-conditioned spaces, wearing those kind of uniforms, holding a body language which is so alien, then working these long hours, meeting these very strange people, is all a cultural shock. Somebody was mentioning just before me, I think Orion was saying, it's a cultural shock. This has to happen. One of the first things that we have to do is break the ice for these young people. The attrition rates, we can all pat ourselves on the back and say our people training, but are our attrition rates low enough? I think people leave the job because of very flimsy reasons. I had a young person say, I quit the job. He said, I asked him why. He said, he's always asking me to keep smiling, even without any reason. Okay, so in the hospitality sector, that is required. And it's an occupational hazard, in a sense. Or if you keep your hands on the street, right? And we were training some of the tribal people on that. And in that category, holding your hands back is not it's a sign of remorse. It's a culture. So that's why we have to break the ice, and for which we need to have more of the industry coming into the classroom. Right. I know that there has been a lot of talk about please understand what we will never be able to understand what we want because we are not you. I mean, the BIA has to be clearer, the BIA has to understand what you're asking us to be an automobile sector player. We cannot be. We can only understand, and I'm being very honest about it. We can only understand at the rhetoric level, at the theoretical level, at the curriculum level, what the competencies are and what the indications of those competencies are when you explain it to us. But I am not a steward. I am not a captain. I am not running the whole industry. And so there is an inherent gap in a PIA that can be met only if you come to the classroom. We do have trainers, but our trainers are not working in the industry. Our trainers are teaching in the classroom, like in an MBA school, because the professors are not businessmen. They don't run businesses. So my request from the side of the student is that industry should actually step into the classroom. Let the HR people come to the classroom. Let the master chefs and let the stewards come to the classroom and teach the children that. Because then they're better informed. And the fire in the belly is during the training period. They want to achieve, they want to prove, they want to make a name. So that's the first one. And as for the industry, I think if there is a commitment made that I am going to give my time and space to do the training for these young people, your gates will be flooded with these candidates because it's by grapevine that works within our young people, which is a good employer, they know which is a good environment to work. They reject 15,000, 18,000 rupees job for 6,000, 8,000 rupees job only in the environment. It is not money that drives these young people beyond the point. So the multiplier effect for the industry to be able to take these people. Like I want to take 1 more minute to explain to that gentleman who spoke about the housekeeping. And I put both my teeth into my mouth always and I get into a lot of trouble. But having called me, I have to be honest. Housekeeping is the most aspiration-less career opportunity. It is. I mean, after that, what? So if the patients that are asking for people can actually progression pathway, along with that small video that I wanted you to make, please tell them what is it that they can look forward to. Jadu Pocha karna hi kaam hai, to why would I do it? And why would I go to a 5-star hotel and do it? A boy once told me, you want me to go and do Jadu Pocha at a hotel where my potential wife is likely to come and have a pizza? I won't do it. So there is we have to understand, and the way the PIS can help is we are now looking at 9th standard, 10th standard pass or fail students. I think if we go down to 4th standard, 5th standard dropouts, I think we should be able to get people, but the industry should be willing to take them. The industry should not say we want 10th standard. Let's be practical. The 10th standard boy has much more options left today than to do housekeeping. I understand where housekeeping
has changed over a period of time. It is not housekeeping which was. Actually, Madam has already at a certain level, we should encourage people who are maybe on 4 or 9. They are much better than the people management. And there is no scope for housekeeping, maybe women working in housekeeping. They go to a regular housekeeper or they go to cluster level and maybe open their own facility management. And there's a lot of scope in that field also. But there are different kind of work in housekeeping. Doesn't mean that only to maybe working on maybe on the rooms. There are multiple tasks. Maybe swiping, lobby. There are different kind of things which housekeeping have to work. But there's a passion for them also to work. And they also grow over a period of time. They are joined as an assistant, maybe housekeeping report executive, and maybe one day, just training is also going housekeeping. You can go to the deputy manager or manager of housekeeping. I've seen people because this hotel manage. I came to the industry 2.5 years back. I worked in sectors organization from manufacturing to FMCG. He works into different formats. When I came, based on import department and most emphasis on the services. Like man, I said to control the attrition, they should be connected. People are not working for even they are given more. They should be connected. If we have connected people about their welfare, what they are feeling, the attrition will come down. Now we maybe over a period of 2 years, this almost 3 to 4 years. So you should have they are coming, they are sharing their grievances. I feel where I can help them out. They only see that the other table may be to speak to them. They will get multiple job options. They can earn from 8 to 20,000 doing different kind of processing jobs. It doesn't mean that they have to work in 5-star hotel. There are facilities. They can go to the maybe houses, cleaning, and various kinds of. Mr. King, yeah.
I like to share something about this housekeeping. See, we have been discussing hospitality. Hospitality has got 2 parts. I represent actual agency. Industries, the issue is not a mobilization of the candidates. Let us understand that. And with DDU-GKY, we have got tremendously initially 2-3 batches. And we have identified specifically female candidates who are rather supporting their family, either maternal family or a post-marriage family. They have been very good at training retention at training level, and also retention in the placement. So this addresses the retention or attrition challenges of the housekeeping industry. Keeping that in mind, the DDU-GKY helped us in finding the right kind of employee at the initial stage itself. Initially we have gone very slow, but after 1 or 2 batches, our experience is that now all this crowd has got a following mentality. So after 2 batches, they have realized that this particular girl is getting 8 to 9,000 rupees per month and a very secure job with PF and ESI insurance. Almost all the good companies follow compliance norms. So later on, the other candidates keep on following the batches. So, as you rightly said, housekeeping is not a job which can offer a very good progressive career. But we have examples of a candidate, specifically with the female candidate, that they are currently working for more than 1 year in the same activity. Setting aside all taboos of their all social stigma and all that, toilet clean nahi karunga and all that. At the time of the joining, when they were counseled for them, कि आपको यही काम करना है, you have to do that. And then once they join, usually the retention rate is good. I think this will address the housekeeping industry's major problem. And 1 year retention is, I think, pretty good productivity. And some of them, okay, another thing, you were discussing this, qualification is one thing,
But we have candidates who are graduates and working in hosting. So we have to look at this program as what you call a channel, a good channel to at least address our industry problem. Mobilization or a resource mobilization for a housekeeping industry has never been a problem. The retention is a challenge. Every housekeeping operator is recruiting every day thousand numbers. Is that correct? But second day or third day, they leave the job. With this program, we have understood if you identify a seed correctly, initial 2-3 batches, then the churn keep on following. Okay. Would you like to answer, Dr. Gangadhar?
I agree. Mobilization, I didn't say it's a problem. Retention. That's why graduation is a big issue. A higher regime where young mothers look after children and support their families with not much education qualification, therefore cannot courses opt for this kind of facility management course. But then their age limit would be an issue unless it is
Again, madam, we have identified such candidates. You know, most of our candidates are widows or abandoned.
Also, a lot of people with young children who now start going to full day school, but they need a second income into their family. So,
yeah, another thing about the age. This particular so the normal age range for 18 to 35, but for the weaker section, which mentions SC, ST, women and handicap, the age limit is 45.
And I hope it says that, but we normally don't go beyond 25 to 27 in most of the PIAs. I'm just saying that we probably need to do a course for the 25 plus. Yeah. We could try that as a strategy to see that
the needy candidate can join it.
So the thing about retention is that if the candidate also wants, there are several people who remain, in the job. So you cannot, guarantee for retention of a, you can't guarantee for retention of a candidate. Really ridiculous. I mean, the candidate has to take care of his own future. If he is not comfortable and if he wants to lose that opportunity in life, then that is his lookout. But for the scheme, we enforce it for the payment of the PIA. Then you say that he has to be retained for 9 months and then you get the payment. That is the part of the PIA's headache. And that is why they are worried about, because everything we can't take care of you. You have to really be, work also for ensuring that you retain your candidates, you make them so capable. There are several people who are some of the places where they are working. Because that is the inherent quality of the candidate and they work hard and they want to grow in life. Now you cannot start imagining that the, corporates or any other company starts making policy to retain your children. That is, really, it would be asking for too much.
That's what I said, ma'am. It's not that they don't work. They don't want to do this kind of work. Even after they move. That is what it's not like they don't want to work. You have to make it glamorous. You have to make it attractive. You have to retain the candidates. We can make the horse to the water. We can't make it drink. I think that's the way. You have to meet us halfway to understand the aspirations of these young people. They would like to feel proud to go and tell someone, I'm working in such and such a place and I'm enjoying my job. Otherwise, they have multiple opportunities. No student who wants, like that girl said, another job. This is the truth. If a girl wants to work and she's good, less than a week she'll get another job.
The willingness of the youth and the love towards that career, that makes somebody to go. There are people who left the job for some reason and they came back because there is a need for them and there is a love towards the sector. So that inclination should be created. Like Madam has already told, these videos are something we should all think about. Whoever is sitting here, all the corporates, they should always give us support in terms of showing what kind of entry mein itna mil raha hai. These are the people who took time to get to this level. That aspiration should be, shared in the beginning.
I would like to share students, a girl student from a very good family background, college right now in Mumbai. She did her training at Trident PKC, and when she had to train in all the four departments, and when she went to the housekeeping, the first day there was the second department, so probably the second month of her training. And on the first day, she told me that she had to do 10 toilet cleanings. And she was a little upset because she'd never done that even in her own house. So to clean a toilet in a, even if it was a five-star hotel, it was something, but later on she wrote that it was like she was actually she became very good at it and she could do almost 15 toilets a day and she started doing the rooms. And here I would like to point out that I don't think we should belittle the housekeeping so much that, if a student from a very good background also can come and do it, there is definitely, I feel, progression over here. But at the same time, a student who has dropped out from a fourth or a fifth or a seventh standard cannot look at that progress. So side by side, if they also complete their graduation or if they do something alongside, then definitely there is growth in every area, in every field.
I would like to add something, if you please allow me quickly.
Yeah, just 1 minute.
30 seconds.
Yes.
I would just like to second what ma'am has said. I completely disagree with the problem of admission. I come from the skilling ecosystem. The solution for this whole thing is the right kind of mobilization. What happens is a training partner looks at it with a commercial perspective. 30 का batch भरना है. They will catch hold of people, put them and create a batch. We fail to find out a right mix between the competencies of a person and the course. So somebody who's not good at anything and he gets into housekeeping, he would definitely continue sustaining there. And if at all that we make the job more glamorous, at the end of it, he will get a larger disappointment because there is no glamour in cleaning a place. But if he is being told that, see, you are not good at the rest of it and this is what we can offer you, something is definitely better than nothing. And a candidate, when he gets into your course and he is there with you for 3 months, he would definitely sustain. The problem is, we pick up candidates, we don't realize his or her competencies, and when he gets into housekeeping and he's a chirpy person, he wants to speak, he wants to move out, he's ambitious, that is where he finds a misfit between the job what he or she is doing, and then they start looking for options. So if the mobilizing at the day one is correct, then I think a lot of problems what the industry is facing will also get addressed to them.
Thank you. So the takeaway of the session is, the right candidate for the right course should be the, when we choose the candidate, so that should be a tagline, right? So thank you, panelists, dear panelists, for this enriching session. This session has been quite an eye-opener on how our industry can help create multiple jobs and provide effective livelihood opportunities for anyone even remotely associated with this hospitality sector. So we move on to the next session.
Like announce lunch, George.
Yeah, that's what.
I hope nobody's in a hurry to leave. I mean, we are like open to be for a
Yeah.
longer time.
Now we request you all to please kindly stay back because we have a lot of other sessions also to now.
Many times people don't announce lunch with the fear that everyone might run away after lunch. I mean, let me be upfront about that. So if you're going to stay back, then I'll announce lunch. Otherwise, we'll continue with this till the time you can bear having lunch. Continue? Fine, yeah. Okay.
So next session is identifying emerging trends and opportunities to form interlinkages with DDU-GKY. And our panelists for the same are Ms. Renu Jethani is a fast-track HR professional with 13 years of rich experience with great workplaces like Infosys, Times Group, Godrej, and otherwise. She was the youngest HR head in the Godrej group of companies with Godrej Naturals Basket and has been instrumental in building the HR framework to shaping the organization as one of the best places to work in retail. She currently leads HR and IR for OCS Group for India as Senior Vice President HR, which is a UK-based integrated facilitated management MNC with operations across 43 countries. Her current responsibilities span all strategic aspects of the HR, from human capital management, business partnering to proactive engagement, talent management, retention, and everything in between. Our next panelist is Mr. Surendra Gupta, who is working as a Deputy General Manager HR in Jet Airways. He is additional HR head for operation support and industry relations. Mr. Sumit Mandola is the program manager cum state head of training and skill development at Avon Facility Management System. He is a development professional with more than 4 years of post-qualification experience in designing and executing development practices at grassroots level. He has extensively worked in the areas of integrated village development through convergence, multi-stakeholder engagements, skill development, capacity building, corporate social responsibility, community-based resource mapping practices, social and environmental impact assessment, project monitoring and evaluation, team building, and has a rich experience of working with multidisciplinary teams like government departments and institutions, private organizations, PSUs, and NGOs. So, would you like to share something?
Yeah. So my name is Renu Jithani and I'm extremely privileged and honored to be on this platform, which brings in academia, industry, as well as government together. A very, very special, hello to all the students. You are more inspiring than most of the inspiring speakers because you made your journey from there to here. And, keep up. I think your stories will go on inspiring millions ahead. Thank you all the government dignitaries. Thank you DDU-GKY team, my fellow counterparts. And I hope we make meaningful contribution today. We start with saying, how the last 5 years have been and how the next 5 years are going to look like. So last 5 years, I would say it's not glass half empty, but glass half glass full, or let's say glass quarter full, but still filling up. Last 5 years are very special. It has been like few years of reforms with ease of business coming in everywhere. Special ministry being developed only for skilling. Earlier, there were government departments who were doing skilling in their own siloed this thing, and it was not reaching. We had so many sectoral councils, right? And the trained people from sectoral council, only a percentage of those people were placed. You know what was that percentage? That was not even 10%, right? So the strike rate was only 10%. And, now we have an entire full-fledged ministry. We have all the state governments working on it. We have 7 to 8 different skilling councils. So that's a great news. I think we are moving at absolutely good rate. And when we look at next 5 years, we say we will have robotics and artificial intelligence and machine learning, and people have already predicted that our jobs will be replaced by those. Very nice wishful thinking, but this was said for 2018 as well. Look at where we are. And all the studies now that are coming out of Harvard and Stanford are saying that anything and everything is a technology which amplifies personal touch will be there, but it will not remove. We are not going to be the human race for themselves will not replace human race, but the technology will play a role in improving the productivity. Right? Another great thing about the skill ministry is that it's not just talking about skilling and creating jobs or filling the existing jobs, but it is also talking about entrepreneurship, something that our earlier panelist, Mr. Sanjeev, also spoke about, that livelihood versus jobs, and it is not just about getting the job in that company, but also creating your own jobs. If you look at India, 93% is informal sector, which is all your domestic help, your people who help you in various things, who supply milk to you, the mom and pop shop, and they also employ so many people, not just in urban areas, but in the tier 2, tier 3 cities and the rural areas as well. And how do we develop those is also part of this entire skilling program. So it's a very happy time and fortunate moment that we are realizing that in India 65% of the people are still unemployed. By 2022 we will have about 600 million, like 60 crore people unemployed. Okay, One more thing, should I go on? Okay. Just one more thing is that when we look at jobs, okay, first thing we say skilling. Only 2% of our workforce undergo skilling. Of those 2% that undergo skilling, right, 10% only make it. Okay, so this is where we stand in terms of skilling. And then we have so many unemployed people, people who are employable. So another good thing is that from last year skilling report, 40.44% were employable. Now we have reached 45%, but what's the use? They're still unemployed. Right? So these are some very hard-hitting statistics. And we are sitting on one of the biggest workforce. If we do not come together, right? We stand as sixth biggest economy today. We will be nowhere. We'll be full of unemployed youth, right? Our industries will want people. We will have people, but we will not have enough skilling to transform those people to the industries. Both may not survive very long.
Mr. Gupta, what do you feel? What is the biggest challenge at present for the industry at this moment?
The perspective. I'm Surendra Kripal, by the way, I'm just correct surname. Surendra Kripal. I represent airline industry here. Now, airline industry has grown on many folds, right from the privatization in 1992, the privatization policy, open sky policy, opened doors for private carriers to invest. Since then, till today, I mean, in 25 years, this industry has grown. Now, it is not only the airlines, private airlines flying in and out of India or foreign carriers coming into India. There are various service providers who have grown around this industry. There are about 48 airports all across the country, and there are many other fields. They employ thousands of people. Now, those people come from the local markets. Now, airline industry doesn't have, airline as such, if you see, it's a beautiful combination of all sorts of industries. It's, check-in counters where check-in agents attend customers first or guests first. It's like, that can be comparable with the lobby of five-star hotel. The hangar of maintenance or your ground shop floor can be, you can compare that with factory shop floor. So it has combination of all. The airline industry has mix of all skill sets. Right from unskilled labor to highly skilled jobs. Now, where this scheme can, cater to, that's where your training program has to be equipped, to supply that kind of. Like my aircraft maintenance engineer has to have some certificate program in maintenance. It's not very high skill program, but even our board of, apprentices training did not have mention of trade, which employs about thousands of people, in India. Recently they have included. So therefore we'll have to look at, now this scheme was not known to many of us. This few days ago I learned about when I received the invitation from you. NEEM training, like all those programs were, we were aware of. Now what this will give us, because in airline we hire for hire people for attitudes. We train them for skills. Training people for skills is very expensive business. We can't take any chance there. So therefore, taking untrained trainings, how it will support and how it will support our operational functions in short term and long term is what we need to decide, and then we can chart out a plan. We just can't, keep hiring trainings and no industry can be a training platform only. So therefore, we'll have to think about it. Should be carefully.
So how about you becoming a prospective partner? If you look at
certainly, we are looking at that opportunity. We have our preparedness. In fact, we would like to share our insight, as to what we do and how we do. And we are ready to, partner the process. I have already spoken with my colleague.
And as an industry person, we also have the.
I'll give you one small example, how sensitive case can be. A chairman of industry, a big company, has a meeting in, in some hotel in South India. He comes from Delhi. He attends that meeting. That meeting doesn't end with proper, and he comes to the airport to take his return flight back to Delhi. His only connect is that 22, 23, 24, 25-year-old person who is check-in agent. If something goes wrong there, he will throw all the tantrums, and then that person has, Your service line is gone for, and that customer, we have lost that customer, the staff also will run away. This is what happens. That's why attrition rate is very high in this attrition rate. So we have to build, and there's a training of very high intensity is required. So we do not know how the programs are equipped and what kind of trainings already go to take people directly from this.
Because we have this choice for the training partners where we can customize, the curriculum as per the need of the industry.
Let's do
so
that.
you can come, with your suggestions, your ideas.
At least for our shop floor case floor assistants, assistant case, we are ready to partner.
Good, thank you.
I will just add to something that we are into outsourcing business, so we have 1,000 clients, which including airlines and hotels and corporates and all kinds. And we did a survey to find out what people need, especially in that first week, first month. And we were hoping, we were also convinced that this was because they got that extra 300. And the fact is, we know that they are being not treated well, that sometimes these people are spoken badly, sometimes they also get beaten. Because we feel that we lose that client and that client is very important. We don't take a stand for employees. We don't respect. We say that these people don't want to do a housekeeping job, but the world over people do housekeeping jobs. It's just that here when our people do housekeeping, the way they are talked to and the way they are looked down upon is something that people have a problem with. Right, and I think it's high time that we understood that the addition is not because of they are like that and they're working 1 year, 1 month here, 1 month there, one month here. They are needy. They need that money to run their families. They're absolutely needy. Why they do it is we don't give them right environment. And if we don't give them right environment, still okay. I agree with some or the other levers of the jobs, but sometimes it's so demeaning that they can't do away with their values and respect and they move on to find greener pastures. And then I have also met people who are like 50-year-old who constantly work only on minimum wages throughout their careers, and then they're thrown out because now you're old and you're not as able-bodied. So what is the kind of career we give, right? Like Nalini very clearly pointed out that where is the career growth, right? If I'm going to do this at this salary, and my salary will never grow unless government increases some 300 rupees, then why will that person do it, right? And then we have made some many efforts of saying, okay, from janitor or toilet cleaner, you move on to a chambermaid, or you move on to a lift operator, and then you move on to a supervisor or a shift manager, something of that sort. At least some kind of hope should be given in a role which has no up ladder. There's no point that we expect the moon. Like one more thing is that we have the beauty and the most strangest thing is that we have defied the law of demand and supply. So when we talk specifically about housekeeping, we say we're not getting people, right? So the demand is very high, the supply is very short, but nobody is ready to increase salary for these guys, right? There was this one particular hotel who rejected 50 candidates, okay? And finally we got into a call and said, why are you rejecting all these people? They know all the jobs that they sing. We want an English-speaking, fully fluent.
If you can, say what has been your experience as a training partner for DDU-GKY.
I would like to share with sir that there would be some rates or domain, maybe not directly related to the airline sector, but maybe pertinent to and which may provide the skills required by the airline sector. But of course, I guess there would be the quality required for the higher. We need to, identify, talk more about all the skill sets and all the things required for the jobs in airline sector. For example, in all the industries, like in hospitality also, we are already talking about many misconception about the parents and candidates, the background from which they come. All these things already talked in this meeting, and they need to be between the health sector or maybe in hospital. So I think like what dress they would wear, what cap they would wear, with whom they will like to they will have to interact. Is it an in-house job, or they will have to work on open press? So these small things I was asking to the HR, and just at the moment when I started realizing that I'm talking too much, the HR directly said to me, "Don't you think that you are too demanding and you are asking too much things? Don't you think that we are providing jobs to your candidates and you are asking too many things?" So I explained to them why I'm asking this thing, because when I place candidate, when I convince the candidate for particular placement, not only the candidate, but I have to ask his parents whether your child will be ready, or are you ready to send your candidate on such job. So we have to communicate all those aspects to the parents also, because in rural society this is the most important thing. The job must be acceptable not only by the candidate but the his his parents as well as relatives and all the people in his surrounding. So the rationale of the objective of saying that this is that there needs to be a platform where we can discuss all these things. Like Vimnaman has always said that there needs to be a kind of ideology where the corporates would adopt the badges. So this is just one of the example, but I think more such things can be done in which we can interact more and can discuss and zero down the things which come in a way of a good test.
So one of the takeaway of this session is, customizing the training programs as per the need of the industry, which can be done anytime. So thank you, dear panelists, for these insights have been noted, and these shall along way at ensuring that our candidates are trained in such a manner that they are ready for challenges that are laid ahead. So thank you so much. Anybody has a question or something? We can have it at the later part once we shall complete the session. Moving on to the next session, we're sharing the best practices and experiences from PIS, that is the project implementing agencies, and industry who are already associated with DDU-GKY. And the panelist for the same hour, Ms. Meenal Matre, has done her MBA in Human Resources from Wellington Institute of Management and has a rich experience of around 14 years in the field of HR. She is a DPS's HR business partner and is involved in client handling. Our next panelist is Mr. Philip Sikwera, HR and Admin Manager of Hotel Express in Nasik. He is a qualified engineer in electrical and computer engineering with a vast experience of 35 years in the field of engineering. He has worked in India and abroad in different industries, automobile companies, and five-star hotels. Mr. Sikwera played an instrumental role in the operations and commissioning of Hotel Express in 2010, and since then he has held the position of Chief Engineer. He was then given the additional responsibility of HR and Admin in 2016, and since then he has introduced several initiatives with respect to grooming, discipline of staff, and various staff motivating programs for all employees. Our next panelist is Dr. Sonali Sinha. He is a hospitality professional with over 2 decades of experience. She possesses a unique blend of working with the finest hotels of the country and academic institutions before getting into trainings. A doctorate in hotel management from Nagpur University. She has more than 5 full-time degrees and 8 professional certifications in training and development, 6 Sigma, image and etiquette, and she is also an ICF certified life coach. She presently serves as a Chief Operating Officer of the Tourism and Hospitality Skill Council. Our next panelist is Mr. Sunil Musuluri. He's a managing partner with Sri Technologies and a passionate leader with first-class communication skills and has a proven track record of successful management. He graduated in computer science engineering from University of Madras in 2002. His desire is to integrate technology in the education system and impart skills for individual development for the sustainable livelihood, which eventually led to the creation of Sri Technologies in the year 2008. In his experience in project implementation and management, team building, visionary focus, and effective leadership skills, Sri Technologies is now recognized as a champion training provider by Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. And our next panelist is Ms. Pauli, who is an HR, who is a corporate HR of Swagat Group of Hotels. She has done her MBA in HR with LLM and with 10 years experience in HR. I would like to welcome on the dance. Basically, this is an open forum, and you can talk about your certain best practices and experiences related to core areas such as mobilization, retention, capacity building, curriculum, teaching aids, and all that you have adopted as initiatives for your agency or your organization.
This is a traditional saying, I think, core, hospitality. So this is what we have to, imbibe within the student from the day one when he starts getting into this class. And let me start from some practices what we have done in mobilization. We created a concept called Reconnect with us. We took all these skill icons to the villages from where they have been, brought to the training and said, this is what I am doing after my training to their neighboring people in the same village. Why? Because the dignity of labor in this sector is very less and it's very less aspirational to the youth, especially education dropped out here. I can understand who are educated and who are graduates, they know about hospitality sector and they come into this formal training in the hospitality sector and they graduate it and they know there is a career progression in it. But the youth which are in the rural area doesn't know about the career progression and what is the work location, educated at the work location and how will he or she be treated at the work location. No, they'll know only when they experience by themselves. So we started taking these people to the ground and trying to explain how they succeeded in their jobs. And we also taken some videos of the work locations and the work environment and the job role what they are doing. Because to convince and to mobilize people from a village, as she said, you need to motivate by themselves and their parents, especially the neighbors, because in India, neighbors are very much interested in our, these things. So we need to motivate them as well. And that's the reason I think people can come forward. And Sunil was rightly mentioning, picking up the right candidate is more important for the success of this program. So, this is what we have done in one. And coming to the training part, we fix the target specifically. When we take a batch, 30 students, we tell them this is what you're going to do. And here you're going to work. This is the place you're going to work. This is how it would be. Because that helps in, motivating them about, creating their imagination of the work location and all. And we try to simulate real-time work. We often take them for industrial visits. We have an LMS where we created a lot of videos and where they can also do it in their class. In DDU-GKY program, we give tabs to the students where they can also spend time in their hostels. So that's how we did, and especially industry participation. When we went to the industry saying that, hey, we are doing this program, as many industry people were talking, nobody knows this kind of program exists. That's the very key part. But when we went to the industry and said, we are doing this and this is how we are training and this is what will get a productive manpower. So then the industry started coming to us and they started participating with us in terms of creating curriculum, in terms of activities. I feel, this technical, classroom teaching methodology is what we don't follow. We follow all activity based because this is not an academic thing which you should teach on a board and people take notes and all. So we started simulating the work environment and started doing group activities. As many people were talking about, they should know that they have to stand for long hours, they should stay for the late hours and all. So we do it from day one, and their food has to be served by themselves to the other colleagues as well in their campus. That's how they started working from the day one in the campus. So this is what we are following, and one of our skill icon is one of the example here. We have a high retention, and that's how.
Dr. Sinha, from the Sector Skill Council point of view, what is you?
Yes, I think I will be able to give you a larger bird's eye view on the whole system. So skilling is not new to India. I always say this skilling, which is now recently come, is what we are going back to our initial roots. Initially in India, it was all skilling. So a carpenter son would become a carpenter. So he never went to any college or anything. It was all hands-on training. So I think we are only reinventing the wheel, which was somewhere lost when we adopted the Western culture and we moved in the direction of formal education, the way the Britishers wanted us to. So skilling is not new to us. I will tell you something about what our ecosystem is all about. So we as a Sector Skill Council, we come under the Ministry of Skill Development. Whatever discussions I've heard today, they are all what actually is required to address the issues of employment and also employment from the industry's perspective and unemployment from the government or the society perspective. It's all about getting a right match between a candidate and the industry, what they are asking for. And the Sector Skill Council precisely does this autonomous body, which is made out of an industry thing. So we are something like CII for hospitality industry. We are governed by a governing council, which is completely industry. And as Sanchit also mentioned, first come to us and ask us what we want and then develop your courses accordingly. That is what a Sector Skill Council does. So our courses are not made because we think that that is right or academicians think that is right, but the industry gives us a demand with a justification and with a kind of numbers what they would be hiring in this kind of a job role in the next 5 to 10 years. Post that, they also give us what are those 5 competencies what they would look at when they are hiring somebody for that particular job role. As a Sector Skill Council, we convert it into a course. The course goes back to 120 industry bodies who kind of vetted that yes, this is what is right, and if somebody is trained on these 5 things, I will hire them for this particular job role. So we start from there, we develop a course, then it goes to the training partner. The training partner delivers the content. Again, it is very standardized because we are trying to standardize a lot of things at our end, and then comes the placement. So the placement is something which I think as a Sector Skill Council, we have mastered it because as I said, we are an industry body. We have a very good backup of industry. Most of our industry partners are all around here. They hire from us because they know the course which has been taught is being endorsed by us. I was involved and the content was made. And also our course is revisited every 18 months. So if there is a change in technology or there is something new, we are very quick to tweak our course so that it is industry ready. As a Sector Skill Council, we take the responsibility of placements. Every candidate who goes through our ecosystem, it is our duty to get them placed. Now, the placement component also, we work on a very different parameters on that. We get placements done through 3 components. We do job melas as anybody else does. We do exclusive hospitality job melas. We do not go into a multi-sectoral random job melas. Even yesterday we had one in Mulund here, and we got a conversion. They were there, BPSS was there, Sanchit was also there. We got 2,245. So 2,245 LOIs were given out of 3,785 people who came in. So that is the kind of conversion what we have. The reason for that is we are working scientifically. We created a demand aggregation from our industry partners. Our industry partners have given us how many people they would hire in which job role, in which state, in which district, at what time. So we know that. Beyond that, we also went and we did a migration mapping. So now we also know that from which part of the country people are migrating. So a housekeeping manual cleaner, as we all said, it's not an aspirational job role for people in Mumbai probably. But it is highly aspirational for people in Chhattisgarh because they don't have food to eat there. And if they are brought here in this kind of a job role and they are given minimum wages, food, accommodation, statutory compliances for them, that's gold mine. So we as a Sector Skill Council are only trying to match the demand and the supply so that everyone gets the benefit out of it. A second very good thing, which is an answer to a lot of queries which we had right now here, was a future requirement. So we also have our own portal which is called a Skill Grid. It is a closed portal for our Sector Skill Council. As on today, we have more than 600 employers registered on that. Every candidate who gets certified through us is automatically loaded on that portal, and it's a candidate search driven system. So it is not like Naukri.com where an employer is posting a job and people are applying to it. The employer has an access to search the candidates based on their requirements. So somebody wants 5 housekeeping manual cleaners in Mumbai, or maybe for that matter in Borivali, they can search and they will get a list of people who are certified to us and who are ready to move to Borivali to take up that job. So that is one thing. The more popular component of this portal is a future requirement, which I think addresses a lot of industry issues, and a lot of our industry partners are taking that up with us, where if at all they know that after 3 months I need this kind of a requirement, they post a future requirement on a portal, and the training partners connect with them. They create specialized batches for those industry partners, wherein beyond our course, even if the industry partner says you have to add on this 20 hour of additional component, for which I will not mind paying you, they pay for that. The rest money comes through Government of India, and a batch is completed and the employer hires the entire batch. So that is also happening. We have started this portal 1 year back. In this 1 year, we have completed 596 on it. So that is another way. I think these 2 things are there. Only thing is that there is lack of advocacy on our part. We are very new. We are just 3 years old in the country, and there is a long way to go. So I request, we need support. A lot of our industry partners are here who are not there. More than welcome. We are a government organization, so there are no financial implications anywhere, neither to the training partner, nor to the employer, nor to anybody else. So everyone more than welcome. We will be happy to place people.
Would you like to share some specific experience where your organization has done something different?
Yes, of course. First of all, I would like to thank you, DDU-GKY, to giving DTS an opportunity to be a partnering with you. I remember 3 months back, we had session at Ramana Hotel to Edilife, and Vimla ma'am has awarded the students who are placed with us since last 1 year. So it's a great partnership with full DDU-GKY. And when it comes to best practices and innovation, being a part of DTSS, I really feel proud that we have both best facility and housekeeping management company by Times Network last month. So it is just because of we are using the technology and innovation right away, And of course, we are getting a platform to implement it as an employee, because there are many taken as an onboarding, attendance, e-check listing, of course, salesman, LMS, which is a learning management system, which is all e-technology we are using, and we are getting good support from team. The leaders who are giving us support for all of this. So I just say, DKSS, proudly say DKSS is a company where I really learned a lot of innovation and technology, which helps facilities to grow. And of course, ma'am have raised a question, if housekeeping people have started, like person have started career as a housekeeper, what next? So we have programs like My Kahani, Udan, Arise, of course, Posh and all, where this kind of trainings given by DKSS, and we are connecting with, as a business partner, we are connecting with each and every client. Being an HR, it's not our duty to sit at office and just do payroll and salary. We have responsibility to connect with each of our clients and of course our employees, to getting connected for retention, which is the best practice we are following up in detail.
Mr. Sequoia, I would like to share some experience because many of our candidates are placed in your organization. So, what has been your experience?
Thank you very much. I've come from good ICT, you can say, Nasik, and the attrition rate is very, very high there. People going from college, coming from colleges, hotel management colleges, salary package is very, very high. And pulling. Because of the attrition rate, a lot of staff is looking for better prospects, better jobs. Not more than 1 year, anybody is to continue. I came in contact with night tutorials. They just walked into me and said, "Do you want staff?" So I require staff because there's a lot of attrition over here, and especially in housing and in the service, they're the ones where they start moving everywhere. And they got me back. Okay, fine, get me back to your batch. And then we started. We were looking all the time. We were looking people who would speak proper English. What are their communication skills? What are their attitudes? How was their behavior? What is their grooming standards? That was the only one we were looking at, and all that culture. But when they bought these people, I just was surprised. The metropolitan cities from villages, and the confidence in them was too high. The confidence was too high. I started thinking that if they can, and I am master. I said they couldn't speak English very well, but I said, okay, just say just tell me about yourself, and few words that they could speak. That was enough for me, because I don't require them to be an expert in English. So they could speak little, and that we can group them. And I have been, and the staff which I have taken, the first batch gave it 5 housekeeping boys, girls. They're still working with me. It's almost 2 years they have come. They have confirmed, and those girls are from the villages where there's no potential for anything to grow, and those girls are staying in our hotel. We have to start accommodation, give them food, everything is there. Even the medical things we have to take care of. If anything happens at night, doctors are there, we send them to doctor, hospital, everything is. So all the things are taken care of. The leaves also what we do. Most hotels they say sick leave milega, CL leave milega, you can't take CL, you can't combine. But what we do, these children who are coming from very far away, we try to we don't go to waste your leave. Just join them and take it. So they feel like, okay, I want to leave after 6 months, I want to leave, I'm going to get it. I don't have to wait for privilege for 1 year. So all these things we have to take care of. Number 2, with this people who are from DDU-GKY, they are the ones who will retain, they will not move. I have even boys who are from DDU-GKY, they were excellent in the boys who are from hotel management. There are, I can say last month I have taken, the earlier one I have taken 17 people. So these people have done excellent job. and their communication skills are also good because they know what to speak. They don't feel that I'm inferior. They don't feel that feeling has to be given, and then HR duty is to have that to take care of them. See, I am not from HR background, but I understand their problems. It is the problem. HR should understand the problem of the staff. If they can take care of the staff, any staff will be, they will grow, and you have to mold them. And you can mold them only on your way, not to their way. They will mold. You take them on the right path. I feel that DDU-GKY is doing an excellent job, and I feel that I am always overwhelmed with DDU-GKY students. And not only did you from this one from Nigeria, I've got people there from Canada also. They have started good students, and I think we can do better this DDU-GKY.
Okay. Ms. Kavni, would you like to share some experience because many of our candidates also are placed in your
Good afternoon. I'm Pavni. I'm from the Swagat group of hotels. We have a 16 outlets in the Hyderabad and one convention hall with a 5,000 capacity. And we are running with a 10 a year, and the next one we are going to complete it. And almost from the Datri Foundation, we have hired 75 students. I'm very thankful for the Datri Foundation and DDU-GKY also. Because previously, I used to hire the students from the Odisha and West Bengal. What I have observed is in this Datri Foundation, I am getting the students from Nagpur. They have almost 90% they have polished because straight away I can take them to the operations. On the small 10% I need to give the training like that. And we are paying them 6,500. But after seeing the performance from this month onwards, we are paying them 7,500. And after the 6 months, we are giving them 10,000, 9 to 10,000 by seeing their performance. And not only that, if they are performing in the 3 months also, we are giving the positions we are giving 10,000. We are giving the increment. So I have I'm very thankful for that Datri Foundation. And one more thing, not only that, Ms. Haima, every month she is coming and personally she is taking care and she is meeting the students and going work. And they are providing the insurance also for the students. I have not seen the other students, those who are taking, I'm taking to them. Then only they will give the students and they will not turn over. So, I've from future also, I'm maybe hiding from the Datri only. Thank you so much.
Thank you, panelists, for sharing your best experiences and the practices what you are doing for them.
The one more thing, please, almost everyone has told that only the one thing, housekeeping staff I'm not getting. I request to provide that.
Thank you so much, the panelists, for being here and sharing your views and experiences. Thank you. So before we wind up, we sincerely hope that through this CXO move, the private industries will be eager to join hands with Maharashtra State Rural Livelihood Mission on DDU-GKY as a partner. And as I believe it is sufficiently evident that the scheme is one that of mutually benefiting industry and the training partners. So the rural youth looking for a better chance at life when the industry can not only benefit from a skilled workforce but also transforming lives. So a request to all the delegates, we have a feedback form in your delegate kit. My colleagues will be collecting from you. So request all of you to please fill up the feedback form. We also have a letter of intent where you can fill in as well as a market scan, where we have mentioned what will be a requirement for different jobs. We can fill up these 3 forms and give it to our colleagues. That would be really great. We have 5 more skill icons. I request all please felicitate them. Swapnil Patil from Nine Tutorials. Chaya Vikram, request to be token of appreciation. Santosh Kadekar.
Santosh.
Ambalal Vasare, please come forward to accept your token of appreciation. Dinesh Patil, request you to come forward and accept your token of appreciation. I will request this from the industry to accept a token of appreciation from Indra Madam. Thank you so much. Thank you, madam. I would request our Honorable CEO, madam, to give a closing remarks for this meet.
On behalf of MSRE and DDU-GKY, I'm extremely thankful to all of you for having come here. We have a lot of learnings and a lot of discussions which have happened, and it will help me to formulate the policy. So, as a team, Ram Fountain and MSRE and DDU-GKY, we will really work on this so that we can come out NAPCONs. I'd like to, George, we should welcome sir from NAPCONs. He has come through. Please, the Vice President of NAPCONs, Mr. Ramnath Mukherjee has come, and I'd like to welcome you on behalf of. Please come. Please, thank you for coming.